What's up, everybody? This is Joel here, making my second video to show me putting in portion 2 of my Tote Slide Pro. You can see the original one on the right side there, and if you haven't seen it, my first video is on their review page, and Ceiling Sam was kind enough that they sent me a second one at a discounted price for making the review. So wanted to put a second one out there and just kind of add some little tips and tricks that I learned from doing it. If you watch the first video, one of my biggest things is that I'm not a super handy guy. You'll see me struggling quite a bit here. But again, this thing is so easy to assemble and to put up that even I'm able to do it. So, just a couple tips while we're going through it, and then some watch outs for sure. You'll see mine is going to look a little bit different than my original one. Part of it is me measuring once and then just going for it and being too stubborn to start over, and then the other is I'm trying to avoid the garage setup. The legs on the garage door made it so I had to make some adjustments on the fly, but ultimately I'm really stoked with how this turned out, and I'm excited to get them filled out. So first and foremost, if you have the ability to, the assembly video talks about using your existing struts to go ahead and put the first rails on there. And if I could have, I would have. I think that would have saved me measuring here a billion times and my ADHD really kicking in on where I wanted it. But because of where those legs are that come up from the garage door, I really had to go in between so I would have room to even install the totes up there. Maybe I'll get creative one day and figure out another way to remove the one on the left and right side, and I can maybe give myself a little bit more room. But you'll see here, trying really hard just to make sure that they line up. I finally got the two Westies to show up there. They're notorious for sleeping in and not carrying their load of the work. So finally they showed up. But, it takes a little bit of just, checking to make sure that it's exactly how you want it. There's a little bit of guesswork in, okay, how do I want this? Do I want them to be turned sideways so I can stack a few more? And if so, do I have to spread out the main rails a little bit more? The video, again, is so helpful. Usually you just get a manual and you're trying to read through it, but the video has some great illustrations and describes how you can either close the gap or have up to 2 foot gap in between if you get the Tote Slide Pro, which is really just 2 of the Tote Slides put together. This piece here, I got better at it after the first time. I definitely made it harder for myself than I should have, but I fixed the T-hooks where they're supposed to go and where I knew that it would be exactly where I wanted it before going up and trying to set them in. And then here you can see I'm just using an empty tote to kind of figure out what I want the spacing to be, and then going back and putting the rails together as I move forward. This piece was a little challenging because you have the idea in mind of what you want to do, but you just have to keep going back and making sure you're going to ultimately have the space. Again, because of how my garage door is, I'm probably going to have to make some adjustments down the road, but even with how I have it finished here, I'm going to have room for at least 12 totes, so I'm pretty stoked about that. You'll see here, I kind of start to realize I'm probably toast in terms of having extra room, and I knew that going into it. But again, I don't have enough stuff that I'm super worried about losing out on space. I think I'm going to have plenty of room as is here. One of the most important things too is when you're tightening these down, definitely don't over tighten. Over tightening can kind of warp the metal if you really hammer down on it. If you have a normal drill, you're probably fine, but I had a hammer drill. And then you see here, I put the last one up. Definitely realize that leg of the garage door is going to be in my way. A little bummed about that, but I ended up adjusting it, tightening it up, and lo and behold, the second one is done. Thank you all for watching, and definitely go get yourself one.